Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tuesday morning. I wanted to go ahead and just kind of make a vlog out of this week because it's shaping up to be a pretty good week. I've booked some pretty solid loads and gone outside of my comfort zone a little bit of what I usually run when I come this way. To start this week off, I'll kind of recap. I picked up three. I picked those vehicles up in Nashville Friday of last week. Went home Friday evening, stayed home Sunday, stayed home Saturday, stayed home most of Sunday, and shot up into central Illinois. And then I delivered those three yesterday and picked, well, actually I only delivered two yesterday, and then picked up two. So then I delivered the Navigator, and then I delivered the Cadillac, and then I picked up this Q7. Already had the Charger on here, and then I picked up the Toyota Tundra. This Charger's delivering. I'm in Des Moines right now. If anybody knows where this is, this is where I stay every time I come here because of that. Love that place. So the Charger's dropping off here in Des Moines, and then we're going about 9 miles west of Des Moines this morning to pick up a vehicle going to Wichita, Kansas, because this Tundra and the Q7 those both go to Dallas, and I haven't messed around in Dallas with vehicles. I haven't needed to. I've had no reason to need to go into Texas, but all that changed. I'll explain that a little bit later. But first things first, we're gonna go get some coffee this morning, and then we're gonna go drop that Charger off. So let's get to that. All right, made it back, got our coffee. Went ahead and I was only 7 miles away from this place to drop this Charger off. So I went ahead and just drove down here. This is a theft recovery. It's kind of going to kind of somewhat of a salvage yard. I don't know if you can see back there, but they fix these up. But so this, whenever I bring this off, you're probably going to see this black plastic crumble and everything. It drags while you're driving it forward and everything, but it's fine. So yeah, I mean, it's not a new vehicle, so if that starts flapping on there, don't freak out and think I broke something. But we'll get this Tundra off here, back the Charger off, put that truck back on, and then as soon as I get done with that, they should be pulling in. I'm gonna tell them I'd be here before they got here, and I am. Big chance of rain today, all day, everywhere I'm going. Up here in Des Moines, and then also in Wichita, it's gonna be raining. And by the time I get to Texas tomorrow, it's gonna be raining. Or tomorrow, or today's Tuesday, so yeah, it'd be tomorrow. So we'll get this all off here, and hopefully the wind's not too bad. It's trying to sprinkle right now. Hopefully it don't come down. We can get this recorded, but get these off, put the truck back on, and we'll be good to go. What was that? Not even 10 minutes. So we got that done, and we're ready to go pick up our next stop. Looks like they're pulling in now, so that timing went pretty good. Okay, so we got that dropped off. Of course, it started raining now, so but we are 18 miles away from. It's actually not on the west side. It's on the west side of Des Moines, but it's not across the interstate, which is perfect. It's basically on the way. So they actually have a lot specific for transports, which is awesome, and don't happen much. Sometimes they actually have us unloading the road, which kind of sucks. Like in the turning lanes, you know, between the yellow lines. That's never fun, especially when it's raining. You know, you got traffic, you always risk road spray and all that. But this place has a transport drop lot, so we're gonna go ahead and shoot over there and see if we can't get this loaded up real quick. We headed to Wichita. almost to Wichita. We're 12 miles outside of delivery on this Lexus that I picked up earlier today. And it has been raining the whole time. It actually just stopped, which is different. Usually it just rains whenever I'm loading or unloading. But it finally stopped raining. But the wind today, the wind has been anywhere from 14 to 20 miles per hour straight in my grill all day long. So the fuel mileage today is bad. I tripped this when I left, dropping off the charger there in Des Moines. And we are at 6.3 miles per gallon on 430 miles. I've fueled up twice already, and I'm already down to a little under 3/4 of a tank. So yay for that. But we're almost here for delivery. Got to be in Texas tomorrow. I've got the other two on this trailer. I didn't find anything I really cared for coming out of Wichita. There is a Mini Cooper actually coming out of Wichita going to Hazlet, Texas, which is just north of Dallas. It pays pretty decent, but this rate is so good, I don't really have to have that car to still come out good. It would be nice to take it. The biggest thing about it is that the gap in between my trailer is it's so wide. I'm not sure if a Mini Cooper would actually fit across that. It would be, if I wasn't in such a time crunch to try to get this knocked out as quick as I could, I would probably go mess with that. But with the way the weather is today, and the fact that I want to try to get tomorrow knocked out as much as I can in Texas, I've got 2 to drop off and 3 to pick up, all right around Dallas. I'll be in Dallas all day. And those are all headed to Mississippi. And I will drop those off the next day, which would be Thursday. So today's Tuesday. Picking up, doing all my Texas stuff tomorrow. I'll be in Mississippi Thursday. So I would really like to mess with this Mini, but I just don't. I don't think I feel like it really. I don't think. Well, I don't feel like it. Losing the time that it would take, especially if I find out it won't fit. And then, of course, after I find out it won't fit, I'm gonna have to call the broker, cancel this load, and all that. But while I've been driving today, I've had a couple of contacts reach out to me. A couple of direct customers I had might be building my Friday around the house, which will be good because I'll be in Mississippi anyway. I'll only be, let's see, my final drop's in Tupelo, so that's about 4 hours away from my house. So I could navigate up into, you know, Jackson or over towards Memphis is 3 hours from my house. Nashville's about 2.5. So really all in that from central to western Mississippi, or central to western Tennessee, is all right there, just south of the house. So I've got that room to play with to entertain what my direct customer has offered me, which is 2 down to Nashville, 1 back. So I would only have to fill 1 down, 2 back, possibly, but the amount of money on those short runs like that is typically greater than it would be on an average run. So even if I didn't get anything else, I could probably make those 3 vehicles work out and back, you know, pay for itself to go out and come back with it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm still kind of crunching numbers on that right now and seeing if I can fill any gaps with it. The only thing about that is that I'm looking at Friday on Tuesday. So the vehicles that are going to be available Friday really all aren't on the board right now. I'm reaching out to other people too. So that's just all kind of a time thing, but I'm not in any rush. No pressure. Like I said, it's only Tuesday. I've got work lined up great for tomorrow all the way into Thursday. So you know, everything's going really good. So it's not a pressure thing, and I'm not desperate, you know. So it's kind of nice to roll with the options and just kind of let things fall where they may. And I got a hold of Ratman Roden. He has his shop that he hauls out of, which it's his business, but he hauls some of the units for it. His shop's actually in Dallas, so I reached out to him, asked him, you know, if he was going to be around to meet up. Yeah, because I've never met him, so I think I'll be able to meet Ratman tomorrow, so that'd be pretty cool. So at some point while I'm in Dallas, that's a tiny bit of another reason I don't really want to get this car, is because it's going to add 1 more stop to my day tomorrow, and I could take that time from that stop in my day tomorrow and meet up with Terry. So I'm cool with that. Like I said, all the money's fine. I'm rolling right at $3 a mile this entire trip, which I'll break that down Like I said, I'm going to kind of document this whole week, starting last Friday, but it will go into Friday this week, so it'll still be a 7-day week. It's not going to be like, oh, that was because of the weekend carryover. I'll allow for that. So we'll see what that brings, but we're almost in Wichita. We are currently 7 miles away from this Lexus dealership, and get this off here. Continue our day. Get I'm going to try to make it to Oklahoma City as close as I can tonight to shut down. That way it'll just kind of give me an early morning run into Dallas. I should get to Dallas right after rush hour kind of dies down, and that way I can knock out my drops and my pickups, and not have to deal with rush hour traffic. So that'll be perfect. So let's go ahead and roll in and get this car off here and get going down the road again. Okay, so done in Wichita, now we're headed to Dallas, and I ended up deciding not to take the Mini Cooper. I don't feel like messing with it, and I don't have to, and I've got enough to do tomorrow. So we're headed to Dallas. I'm probably gonna make it just north of Oklahoma City, and that'll give me right at about 4 hours to drive tomorrow to get to Dallas, and that should be able to scoop me through Oklahoma City right before rush hour hits, which is great, and then I'll get to Dallas pretty much right after rush hour is over. I did end up talking to Ratman Roden today. I am going to meet him tomorrow at his shop, and he's en route. I'm kind of going to make like a let me try to think of how I'm going to make like a crazy little but come down 35, make a little loop, and pretty much twist myself right back out. So I'm gonna basically make a big loop through Dallas, and one stop over in Fort Worth, and then come back through to the top though. But I've got the 2 vehicles on here. I'm gonna drop the truck off in Grapevine, then I'll probably go meet Ratman right there, since he's kind of in between. He's kind of in my route a little bit. Then I've got the Audi to drop off in kind of just, it's a Dallas address, but it's North Dallas, but still south of the bypass. From there I'm gonna go, that's my 2 drops, and then I'm gonna do my 3 picks and head out. They're all 3 going to Mississippi, all northern Mississippi, and I've got 1 pickup at Manheim and Fort Worth, I've got a pickup at Grapevine, and I've got a pickup in Frisco. Then I'll probably from Frisco just take the US highway out. I used to come into Dallas like that a lot, take it up to McKinney and go out onto 30, straight into Texarkana. I'm actually gonna, instead of going across Louisiana, I can't stand driving through that state. It's terrible, especially 20, Shreveport and all that. So these, I've got 3 stops going into Mississippi, and 1 is in South Haven, 1 is in Oxford, 1 is in Tupelo. So once you get out of Memphis and drop down, it's pretty much all across 22 there that goes into Birmingham, that new well, it's not really new, but anyway, they're all right there in a row. And then I've got 3 vehicles to pick up once I get to Mississippi to it's actually just north of it's the CarMax in Tupelo, basically. 3 cars to pick up there going into Jackson, Tennessee. It's a 97-mile trip, 3 cars from CarMax, 2 CarMax, and pays $400. So it's I think $4.12 a mile is what it said. So I can't complain about that. Later on in the week, I'll break down the money on this. I just kind of wanted to knock today out. We'll do the whole Dallas trip tomorrow, and then it'll be on to Mississippi the next day. I'll try to maybe do like 3 vlogs out of this trip here, and then kind of show you how this goes, how much work's involved, minus there's a little bit more driving than I do per usual. But as far as the way that I try to stack everything, this is pretty much it. Try to go in, try to leapfrog some as much as I can, which I did more of that on the way up to here. From here, it's kind of just, the rates were so good that I didn't have to. And that's something that you can always, you know, factor in. You know, with the original rate, if you can manipulate it, or, you know, do a little bit of negotiation on that. And sometimes, I mean, you don't have to get crazy greedy, but just being very consistent, just being consistent and not settling for anything. And that's one great thing about cars that I found, is that there's enough of them to where you don't have to, well, I'll just take that, you know. Sometimes it's hard to stack, you know, a full trailer load of partials, mainly because you tend to either run out of room or weight. Now with vehicles, the great thing about it is that I can switch this trailer around however I need it to be. The biggest thing is, the reason I charge, and I think you've seen some of that today, the reason I charge more for trucks is not only that it takes up more of my trailer and they're heavier, you know, they're usually longer and they weigh more, but it's the fact that when I haul a truck, typically because of space, and if I have any overhang, you know, it's going to be off the rear. And trucks are easy to overhang because, you know, a lot of length is behind the rear tire, you know, with the back of the bed and everything. But another reason that I like to charge, you know, significantly more for trucks is because usually it's on the back of the trailer, and I'm going to have to move it constantly while I'm loading or unloading, you know, other cars or SUVs or anything like that. It's always in the way, especially if it's going for distance. Now, I mean, it pays. It definitely pays for the distance that I'm taking it. But it's still, I mean, it's not a nuisance. It's just how it is, you know. And I'm fine with that. It's perfectly fine with me. And I think you even saw, I don't know if the video caught it or not. I haven't really looked at it yet, but it was overhanging enough to where I would have to actually get on the ground, you know, to put my ramps up or get them out. And what sucks about that is that it was raining a lot today, so you kind of end up, you know, with a wet butt for a minute, you know, until everything dries. But, you know, it's just part of it. You try to find a good spot to where it's just cement or something like that, so you're not, you know, you don't want to wallow around in dirt or anything. But, you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do sometimes. So I'm just coming into Texas or Oklahoma right now. Which is funny too. I'm actually going to wait a second, because you might see with this pre-pass, this thing beeps 18 times when you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's ridiculous. The old pre-passes that were blue, the little blue ones, you see in the windshield, I think they beep 5 times, maybe. That's insane. But anyway, we just got bypassed by the scale here. It was closed anyway. But so in Oklahoma now, I'm going to drive for a little bit more. So like I said, I'm going to drive for a little bit more, shut down, invoice my paperwork, scan all my BOLs in, and put my route together and do all that. And then, you know, kind of during that process, I'm going to edit this video, and get some sleep and get back to it tomorrow. I got a busy day tomorrow. I think it'd be cool. It's gonna be cool meeting Rabbit. I've talked to him several times, but it'd be cool to meet up with him. So we'll have that to play with tomorrow. And until then, we'll see you guys next time.